Hi everybody, my name is Janine. I am a spiritual medium, and this video is a story time, a little bit about how I started, where I've come from a little bit, and then I'll go into my doll story. So I was born in 68. My mom was really quite young. She was 17 when she had me, and I was born with a one ear, and so I think I've always heard things, but when I was, I don't know, maybe, I want to say 2 years old. I really don't know how old I was, but I electrocuted myself where I stuck a bobby pin in a light socket. I was pretending I was driving and I wanted to put a key in an ignition, and I found a big bobby pin, stuck that in the light socket, and that threw me across the room. I remember waking up with my hands all black and my face was black, and I remember my hands were in water. But I remember getting up to go to the bathroom and I saw my face was all black and stuff, and I had like shard marks on my face, and my hands were all black, like the fingertips were burned, you know. And there's little things like I remember having a vision. I thought it was a dream, but there's no way that could be a dream from something that I remembered way back as 2 years old, you know. So in my awakening of being shown, it was a vision I had of being like shamed in front of the townspeople for being a witch. So, or for being different. I don't know exactly what, I don't know why, but yeah, we were being tortured and shamed, and it was pretty horrible, and explains why I hate bugs. Anyway, and then shortly after that, I had OD'd on my grandmother's pills like 3 different times. My mom kept putting them up and putting them away and hiding them, and I would still find them and do it all over again. So I've had my stomach pumped. I know one time I remember my uncle coming over to check up on grandma, and I passed out in his arms. And so I think they rushed me to the hospital. I don't remember any of it, but I just remember bits and pieces of it. And I remember the story of my mom saying, you know, what happened, and, you know, corroborates what I remember. So I was really, my poor mother. I mean, can you imagine being 17 and having a crazy kid like me? So yeah, God bless my mom. And I was very stubborn. I mean, I was insistent on walking myself to school in kindergarten. I was in kindergarten, and I was insistent on me being a big girl and I can walk myself to school. And she said no, but she actually let me, and she followed me. But yeah, it was just really, like, I think back on the things I put my mom through, I'm just like, wow, my poor mother. But anyway, so going into, I had a doll that was given to me, and I had to look it up. So I did this other video, and I just couldn't get it right, and I just didn't like how I was going. And anyway, I was given this doll. She was like life-size doll, 3 feet tall. And we're talking back in 68, so it must have been, you know, somewhere around there. So right around maybe 1970, 71 maybe. And the doll was called, I looked it up, she was made in New Zealand. I remember it being either Germany or New Zealand. Come to find out it was New Zealand. Her name was Patty Play Pal doll. And they were life-size dolls. And I remember this doll having like even dimples on her booty. Like, it was just, this doll was so detailed for being real. And this doll was, you know, I've been rehashing the story in my head over what happened with this doll for so long, for so many years, and trying to figure out what happened and how she became to move. And for years, I didn't even know what her name was. I knew I called her something because of this incident I'm going to get into. But I couldn't remember the name of her. And I thought it was like a Betty, or, you know, that, well, maybe because my Aunt Betty gave her to me. So I thought maybe I called her Betty, but I had a TTY sound. So when I found the doll named Patty, I'm like, oh my God, I called her Patty. So it was just so weird, but this doll traumatized me so bad that I blocked out her name. So this doll was given to me. She was about the size of me, and she had this cute little dress on, and I don't remember anything else. I remember having a couple of like other outfits I would change her into. And I remember always talking to her, playing with her, up until one point when I don't know how old I was. I'm maybe about 6, maybe younger. But I had the doll laying on the bed. I remember her being naked, and I remember being told, and I remember being really, really angry. And I'm being told what to do to the doll, like go get scissors, go get crayons. And I remember like destroy her, put your energy into it. And I remember not wanting to do it, but I'm being told to do it. So I'm doing it anyway, and I'm scribbling all over her face, and I'm messing her up. She even had eyebrows. I mean, this doll was so incredibly real. And I remember plucking him out, trying to cut her hair off, maybe cutting her eyelashes, maybe, I don't know. I remember messing her face up really bad with crayons and her stomach. And then I remember running downstairs to go get fruit. And they were asking for something specific, and I can't remember what it was, but I said, we don't have that, but we have plums. And they said grab whatever or something. So I remember grabbing like 2 or 3 plums. I go back upstairs, and I'm rubbing it all over the doll, and I'm rubbing it all over her face, and I'm being just really angry doing, just putting all this stuff, this energy into this doll. And then after that, I don't know what happened. I think I pretty much like cleaned her up, put her clothes back on, put her in a closet, or just left her there. I don't know. Fast forward a little bit, like I don't remember anything after that point. I do remember like little things happening after this where like, I'd be playing in my room. Me and my cousin and my brother were sitting on my bed, and we all wanted to play spiral graph. So I jumped down off the bed to go get the spiral graph, and it flew out from underneath the bed and hit me. And I was just like, I remember looking at the shoe, and I remember looking up at them going, did you guys do that? And they just looked at me like, They saw what happened, but it was like, And little weird things like this would start happening. And then the kicker was we had moved, and I had the doll sitting on the closet. And these were like old-fashioned doors on the closet where like an accordion type thing, where you pull it and they would pull into 3s. So it would be like I don't know what you want to call it, like an accordion way. I don't know how to explain it. But you would pull it and then they would fold in. So, and I remember always, pretty much, I always felt like she was always watching me. So if I didn't want her watching me or feel like I'm being watched, I would hide her. And so this time, she was always pretty much in the closet. So I had a big box in the closet, and it was all my toys in there. And then she was sitting on top of the toy box. And my grandma Nana had come over, and she was asking me for some reason about the doll. Now, mind you, my grandmother used to do seances, so I don't know what kind of ability she had. She passed away when I was young, so I can't ask her. And my grandmother's passed away, and my mother's passed away, so I don't have anybody to ask. But I do remember my mom always saying we had to keep quiet about our gifts. And my grandmother Mimi, she would do tarot cards. My mom did tarot cards. So it's pretty much in the family. And so anyway, Nana's asking about Patty. And so she said she wants to see her, or maybe I asked her if she wants to see her, and Nana said, yeah, sure. So I went to go get her, and I ran in the room, opened up, and I'm screaming to the doll, Nana wants to see you. So I go in and I pull open the closet door, and the doll goes, her head twists, like, her arm goes up, and her whole hip, like her leg she was going to jump off the toy box and come running at me. Oh my God, I screamed so loud. I ran from the room, ran to Nana, so freaked out by this. The doll literally moved. Her whole head twisted, turned, her arm went up, and her leg was like it had movement, like she can jump off that toy box. Oh, geez, Lord. I mean, I'm like 6, 7 years old. I don't know how old I was. I remember being really scared. I remember crying. I remember being freaked out. Nana took the doll home with her. Never saw the doll until I was 12 years old. So my nana had passed away. I think I was like 10, and she had the doll with her and kept it at her house. I never wanted to see the doll, so every time I went over to the house, she would have the doll hiding in a closet, so I would never see the doll. But she had the doll for years. I don't know why they kept the doll, why we kept the doll, but we ended up keeping the doll. So I really have wondered so many times for so long about something about that doll. So anyway, she had Nana passed away, and I'm, fast forward, so I'm like now 12 years old, and my mom's about ready to have another child, and it's a little sister, and I don't know why I wanted this doll back, but I wanted this doll to give to her. And it was just something I wanted to pass down. I don't know why. And so I called my grandpa. I had my mom call grandpa to get my doll back, and he refused to give the doll. He said he was giving it to his new girlfriend or something. And I think that was more out of why I wanted the doll more than anything else, because it was my doll. How dare you give it to anybody else? And so I had to call him, and I had to beg him. Finally got him to relent and got the doll back. Nancy never, my sister, she were 12 years apart. She never liked the doll. Nobody in my family's ever liked the doll. This gives you a creepy feeling, And she had curly hair, and I found a picture of what my doll looked like, because I don't have it anymore, and I'll go into a little bit the last thing I did when I did see this doll. So I found a picture, so I'm going to put that as my header or my cover shot. And then I wish I knew how to put up like backdrops and go, you can, right here, this is what the doll looked like. But I haven't gotten that far yet. So I'm still learning how to do little things here and there, and trying to learn how to edit and things like that. It's just taking me some time, and in between working and, having a day off, I just want to relax. So anyway, I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to learn. But anyway, this doll, she had curly blonde hair, and she was life size. She didn't bend. She was like hard plastic. But there was just something about this doll. It was just really, in this course, I messed her up, and trying to destroy her with anger and being told what to do. I didn't realize I was clairaudient then. I don't think my mom even understood it either. So, and I didn't realize I had a gift up until my awakening. So anyway, fast forward. So I got this doll, and nobody liked her. We had her until my sister was about, oh God, I want to say about 16. No, actually, we always kept her in the closet. She just stayed in the family, kept her in the closet. She never did anything else again, never moved, nothing ever for years. I mean, even my brother and I even played a really bad joke with her, and where I took the head off and I put ketchup around the eyes and the mouth and put her underneath the sink. And I asked my brother to go find the comment for me, and he opens up the door, and he sees the doll's head just sitting there with blood, and he just screams. And he did the same thing back to me and got even, and I blacked out. So after that, I never messed with that doll again. So anyway, fast forward, my sister's about 10, and I think I'm like about 9 or something, or 19. So anyway, my mom decides she's going to get rid of this doll. So she destroys the doll, rips it up, and dismembers it, takes the arms and legs off, and puts everything in these big green trash bags, takes it out back, throws them away. And we're living in San Fernando Valley, it's like in Canoga Park area. And so later on, probably about a year or two, about a year after that, I ended up getting married and was living in, I think it was Canoga Park. We were driving down Ventura Boulevard, and there was a thrift store, and I look in the window, and there's the doll sitting in a baby like bassinet, like old fashioned, like one of the 1940s like bassinet type thing, like the buggy. And she's sitting there, and the only way I knew, because of that curly blonde hair and all the marks all over her face, the crayon marks all over her face. And I had the shivers, and I told her just keep going, and never. That was the last time I'd ever seen the doll. Never saw her again after that. But I've always wondered what happened. How did she come alive like that, and what compelled me to do the things I did to that doll. So to this day, I figured I am, I was clairaudient, and I was being told, Marina, shh, hey, we got a new crate, and she's trying to mark it as hers. Marina, stop. Oh, this child. But yeah, I've been trying to figure this one out. So I'm hoping maybe, I know I'm probably going to get some really weird comments, and probably a lot of people are not going to believe me, and I really don't care. You weren't there. You didn't live my experience, and this is my true life experience. So I've had a lot of other stories I'm going to be sharing about as well. But this was just one of them, the creepiest one that I know of. Other than the one time, the other one that really creeped me out was when I was like 14. But that'll be another story for another time. But I just want to share about this one and start doing a story time and start going into also about just daily experiences too that I go through. Especially if you, the next video I actually want to do is about if you're if you're being spiritually attacked. So that will be my next one. But I hope you enjoyed the story. I wish I had more stuff to tell you about it, but she was just really creepy, and it was just very life-size. And my sister never even liked her, even when she was like 2 years old. I mean, she was like 2. And I don't know, but I guess I like dolls. I don't know why, but I always got dolls as Christmas gifts, and especially like from my uncle and everything. So, but I still like dolls, and I've been thinking about getting another haunted doll because now I'm like more investigating it type thing. Oh, excuse me. Whereas back then I was just more scared. I was a kid. I didn't know what to expect. Oh, my weird honey. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed this story. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any ideas of what happened or what do you think happened, leave a comment. That'd be awesome. And if you're new and you would like, please hit that thumbs up. Please subscribe for more stories, and I will see you guys on the next one. Sending you all white light and love. Bye.